New on Curiosity Stream. How do you connect a 16th century potato to limitless energy production? Could Napoleon's toothpick have a direct link to a machine that predicts the future? And how can a 1700s conch shell chart a course to humans connecting their brains to the internet? James Burke's visionary series Connections returns for a new generation. Experience all new Connections. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com. New on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new Connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
It's the pop culture field. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast, sitting right at the intersection of weapons, action, the military, and, as a matter of fact, pop culture. It's good to be back with you folks. For you, it has been a week. For us, it has been 20 minutes, and we're still sick. So,
yes. Ain't nothing changed, baby.
Ain't nothing changed. Certainly not our determination and willpower to get this episode out. But don't worry, we guarantee next episode is going to be a lot more high energy. So
absolutely, we will do our best, though. We will do our best.
You know, folks, I'm feeling a little like I'm not up for this challenge. You ever feel like you're in over your head? You ever feel like you're not quite up to snuff? Like you're in a situation that you are just totally unqualified for?
Wow, Izzy, that is completely appropriate with today's topic for some reason.
I thought you would catch up on that.
Oh, yes. No, I definitely did, and it is so appropriate because today's episode is titled In Over Their Heads for Good Reason. And what does that mean, Izzy? What are we going to be talking about today?
Well, there's nothing better than a fish out of water story, unless, of course, the water is a dangerous situation and the fish is a highly unqualified person.
Yes.
Which brings us to our topic. Yes, movies where a regular person is put in an incredibly dangerous, often military situation. Will they make it out alive? Will they become battle-hardened veterans who are now ready for anything? Let's talk about it. And we got a lot on this list, folks. When you start looking at the topic, you realize you're like, oh, like the first three that we're going to talk about were what really prompted the episode. Yeah. And then as you delve deeper into it, you realize, oh, this story has been done like dozens of times.
Like totally a lot of times. And, you know, it doesn't always have to be just like a regular person. It could be like a completely unqualified individual, just like maybe someone just wrong place, you know, wrong time, and just got stuck.
Yeah, they're unqualified for the situation that they're in. Because we got a couple where they may be professionals at what they do, but they're put into another situation where they're like, oh, I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah, and I already know that you're in your car right now and you're screaming at your I don't know, you probably have Apple CarPlay. It's 2022 now. So you're probably screaming at your Apple CarPlay saying, Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder. Right. And that is absolutely the first one on our list. One of my personally favorite movies that can never be made again, unfortunately.
So good.
Yes, so good. I mean, I've seen this movie more times than I can count on my fingers. And every single time I roll over laughing, just because it's timeless. The jokes they make are timeless, and you know they took all the risk at the perfect time. I mean, literally, we have drug addicts, we have we have
homosexual method actors.
Yeah, we have method actors. They do blackface in this movie, for crying out loud. I mean, and we're not talking the Canadian.
Cameron, can I take a stand on that? Can I say something about that? I've been waiting to say this.
Okay, do it.
I've been waiting to say that. I would wait until I got a podcast so that more people could know my opinion about something.
Exactly.
Listen, blackface is something very specific. All right, we all know what blackface is. It was back when it was basically making fun of black people. It was white actors putting on blackface, putting on makeup onto their faces, and like doing like stereotypical or stereo, like just
making them
ridiculous.
seem. Are you saying like, it was like making them seem lower than life? Like
it was putting
just
him down.
imbeciles.
It was like the bamboozled kind of like, just ridiculousness, and it was so racist, and it was so wrong, and it always will be wrong. But that was a specific thing.
Yeah.
In this movie, Robert Downey Jr. plays a method actor. He's an overly committed 5-time Academy Award-winning method actor who undergoes a controversial skin pigmentation procedure in order to fully embody this black character that he is playing.
Yeah, it's perfectly harmless. It's perfectly harmless.
Yeah, I mean, but people aren't gonna get the joke anymore because I think people are too sensitive these days. He even says, like, it's so funny because if you hear the line, he says, he's like, "Do you ever drop character?" He's like, "I don't drop character till the DVD commentary."
Yeah.
And if you watch the DVD commentary, he's in character for the DVD commentary.
Yeah, on Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
So listen, I understand. I know the day and age that we live in, and people aren't going to appreciate it anymore. But I just wanted to put that out there for
I think they will because I 100% appreciate it. They went balls to the wall with this movie. So I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, there's something wrong with you. Just because it's one of those movies that you have seen. I like it because it takes a bunch of actors, and I mean we're not just talking regular actors. We're talking super stereotypical Hollywood types that absolutely exist in the real world, where they don't give a crap about anybody. They're just focused on themselves.
Totally self-absorbed.
Totally self-absorbed. Think they're the shit, and no one can control these folks. Well, is it Kurt Russell? No, who is that guy? John.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte,
the real Tay-back.
Yeah, the 4-leaf Tay-back.
4-leaf Tay-back.
Yeah, he suggests that the director takes him into the jungle and rigs it with a bunch of explosion and just pretty much puts him through the fucking ringer to get like authentic reactions out of these guys, because obviously they're not working together well. So the actors think that they're just being put in a movie, but when they're in the jungle, they actually have a real life drug organization that intercepts them and like kidnaps one of the characters, and it becomes real life. But they think it's a movie the entire time, so they're trying to stick to the script. But in reality, they're 100% in danger, and they don't even realize it.
Not until the very end, and they actually end up. One of the things I love about it is that. In a lot of some of these examples, when they're actors, they end up using the skills that they learned as an actor. Like when they have to break their buddy out of the what is it, the Red Dragon camp? Yeah, like they're like, remember,
we are Flaming Dragon.
The Flaming Dragon.
We are Flaming Dragon.
Like Robert Downey Jr. he's like, I learned Chinese for this one role, and he uses his Chinese or whatever, or his Filipino or whatever.
Yeah,
Vietnamese. But little things like that, and so like they're firing blanks, but the bad guys think that they're real.
Yeah, they don't have any bullets, but they're like firing blanks at real people with real guns, and it's just so silly, man. It's such a good movie.
Silly.
There's so many. Go for it. Go. Go for
it. We're so polite. What I love is not all of Ben Stiller's movies hit, in my opinion. But when they do hit, man, when his comedy hits, man, it hits so hard and so well. Absolutely. Like I don't know that there's like, this is one of my favorite like comedic movies.
Oh yeah, no, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah, and they even got the special cameo.
That's where they can't say. That's why they can't make this movie again, because they're dropping hard R words, and we're not talking racial. We're talking about the special needs R word.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about Tom Cruise.
Oh, I thought you. I mean, you said special.
You're right. You're right. I can see that.
What are you talking about before I get us canceled?
The executive, the big executive, the big time business mogul.
Oh yeah, it's Tom Cruise.
Yes, Tom Cruise. In heavy makeup, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, his forearms are they put so much hair on his forearms. They make him the like stereotypical like Jewish.
Lev Grossman.
Yeah, they make him like this most stereotypical Hollywood like higher power. He's just like, he's like Diet Coke.
Yeah.
We don't negotiate. Why don't you take a step back from the phone and go, fuck your face?
We
We
not
don't negotiate
with
terrorists. Yeah. I mean, you can. You have to watch. I do this every now and then. You have to watch the opening because the movie doesn't just open with it doesn't go straight into the movie. It opens with you getting to know what type of actors these guys are. So basically, the movie opens with trailers of things that the actors, quote unquote, participate in. So obviously, Ben Stiller's character is the action star, and he has these Scorcher films that are just they're like the Mission Impossibles. They just made way too many of them, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. And it's like Scorcher 5. The announcer guy goes, "Here we go, again." Again, and it's just stuff like that. And then
the top stereotypical movies.
Yeah, and all the trailers are fun. You have Jack Black that plays a strung out drug addict who's he's like the Eddie Murphy type, plays in the Fatties. He plays every single character.
Yeah, like a nutty professor type.
Yeah, pretty much a nutty professor where he plays every single person. And then you have
Fatties Fart 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Fart 2. Was this, you got any beans?
I love it when the bat comes and steals his.
It's my jelly beans.
His drugs, my jelly beans.
Yeah,
and then you got the I forget what the other actor is. He's the rapper.
Al Pacino. He's called Al Pacino, but I don't remember the actor's name. Yeah, I love them. Booty Sweat, energy, bust a nut. Booty Sweat. And bust a nut energy drinks.
Oh yeah, Brandon T. Jackson, Al Pacino.
Brandon T. Jackson. He's like, "What do you mean, you people?"
Yeah, what do you mean, you people?
You people. That's the theme song to the Jeffersons. And
they give
just because the theme song doesn't mean it's not true.
Coming up that hill, yeah.
But yeah, no, Tropic Thunder is one of those movies that I hope it never dies, just because it's the perfect comedy. It has every single element. I mean, it has military, it has raw humor, it has just everything that you can't say nowadays, and it goes just off the ringer with it. So I think that's why it should be a national treasure.
It's going to go into the National Archives in the Library of Congress.
Yeah, no, I hope so. I hope it gets the Medal of Honor for movies, whatever that award would be. But
the Movie Medal of Honor.
The Movie Medal of Honor. Pause for sneeze. Oh no, it's just stuck in my sinuses. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon, limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.
I'm back in the fight. All right. Okay. Well, let's push past Tropic Thunder because I feel like I've been talking about it way too much. That's how much I love it. But there's another film that's exactly kind of the same premise, but instead of going to Vietnam, exactly the same. But instead of going to Vietnam, they go to space.
That's right, Galaxy Quest. A bunch of actors are put in a real life or death situation. Yeah. It's so funny. There's a show for those of you that haven't heard. It's oh gosh, what's his name?
Isn't it Galaxy Quest?
Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen plays the Captain Kirk lookalike.
Yeah, he's basically, there was a show called Galaxy Quest, and transmissions just keep on going. Well, these transmissions made it thousands of light years away to this alien race, and it totally changed their whole race. Like, they took the lessons that they learned from the show. It's like a Star Trek type show. And they modeled their entire civilization after this show. And they think it's real. But they don't realize that it was just a show. It was a canceled show. And so they are against this tyrannical alien dictator called Saris. And they're like, we need your help, And at first, Tim Allen's like, oh, yeah, it's fine. It's probably just another fan film or whatever. But then he realizes that it's real, and he gets all the other actors to join up, or maybe unwittingly. But then they're actually put in a real life or death situation, and at first it fails miserably, so they have to rise.
Yeah. They have to rise to the occasion because, I mean, they're just actors at the end of the day. You know what? I just Googled this movie. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of
This movie would be
course.
90%. It only has, like, what, 86% audience? But, yeah, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is why I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, man. Because
Just a bunch of Russian bots.
It's just a bunch of Russian bots. But no, but Galaxy's Quest is actually really entertaining. Tim Allen is like the guy that made it. He's like the Justin Timberlake of NSYNC, where he like kind of went on his own thing and he became like a successful actor, but all the other ones kind of, have a little bit of spite towards him.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I thought he like.
No. Well, he's into it. Like, he's into the show. Like, he's riding that wave of fandom, and everybody else is, like, so over it. Like, Alan Rickman's character, he's a trained British actor. And
he's like, he hates the character.
By Grabthar's hammer, you will be avenged.
Yeah, and he's like, I will kill myself if I have to
say that line.
It's like, I can't say it again. He's like, I'm better than this. I'm better than this.
And he tries to leave, and then Tim Allen's like, they're at like a convention, and Tim Allen's like, and Alan Rickman's like, there's nothing you could say to get me to go out on that stage. Tim Allen's like, the show must go on. And then Alan Rickman, because he's an honorable actor, he's like, darn, decides to do it.
Yeah. Well, I like that. Like there's a bit of tragedy in the movie, isn't there? With like the kid obviously there's what's his name from? He's in Teeth. He's in Tusk, not Teeth. No, wrong movie. He's in Tusk. He's also
Justin Long.
Justin Long, yeah. He like is a young Justin Long, and he's like one of Tim Allen's groupies, or
super
it's like
fan.
Yeah, not a groupie. That would be weird. But yeah, super fan. He's like asking him all those questions, and they bring them along, right, to help.
No, he doesn't come on. But there's a point at which they need some information, so he uses his transmitter. He accidentally switches a fake transmitter with a real one, and Justin Long has it. And so he calls him, and he needs help. Like, they're going through, like, the bowels of the ship, and there's these things called the chompers, which are just these inexplicable, like, just these smashers that just have they're just there. They serve no purpose, but they're just there to give them a challenge to go through.
Yeah.
And he, like, gets them through that, and they tell them about there's this thing called the Omega-13, and they don't know what it does, and so he's the one that, like, he goes on to all, like, the Reddit sites. He's like, okay, this is what we think it does, And actually, you know what? Can I get real? Like, I'm gonna get all teary, man. There's a point in that movie that makes me cry every single time.
Oh my god! What point? What point is it?
So Alan Rickman, he hates that line by Grabthar's hammer, you will be avenged, because he's heard it so many times. And there's one guy, there's one of the alien dudes that like is totally idolized him. He's like, you've been like a father figure to me and stuff. And then and at one point, that guy gets like shot. And they pull him inside, and the other guys the bad guys are outside the door and stuff. And he's looking at him, and all he wants is to hear that line. And so Alan Rickman says it. He's like, by Grabthar's hammer, you will be avenged. And he totally means it, and it totally hits that emotional point. It's so, I do think it's so funny, because that movie, obviously it's goofy, but there's some really fun, like, serious points in the movie that's like, I just love that.
That's funny,
anything having to do with sacrifice always gets me.
Oh yeah, so everybody knows Izzy and self-sacrifice. That's the way to make him start tearing up. But cool, man. Yeah, and there's one more movie that's exactly the same, right?
I think this is the one that might have started it all.
Really? Because I haven't seen this one yet.
Oh, you got to see
this You and Chris always mention this one, and I'm like, I still haven't seen it.
Add it to the ever-expanding list, the Three Amigos. It's got three legends of comedy. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase?
Yeah, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. Who, in their day, I mean, talk about kings of comedy, man.
Yeah, they're the hard hitters, man.
Yeah. 3 actors put into a life or death situation. But they're actors in like silent film era, like the 20s and 30s, and they have these things called the Three Amigos. And there's this one small town in Mexico, and they don't know. They think it's like a newsreel, but they see a film of theirs, and they've got it's kind of like Seven Samurai or the Magnificent Seven, their village is being assailed by El Guapo, which I think means the ugly. El Guapo, and they write to them.
The opposite. Guapo, calling someone guapo is like calling him handsome.
Oh, okay, El Guapo. Maybe it is the handsome. But...
Like, mucho guapo, or muy guapo, like very handsome.
Okay, shows how much Spanish I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
But, no, it's...
Cultured swine.
I didn't go to college, actually.
Yeah.
But I got a theater degree, so it's like not going to college at all.
Yeah, kind of. Same.
Yeah, so they go down to Mexico, and they think it's a gig. They think that they're doing, like, a live performance. But then one of them gets shot in the arm, and they're like, oh, my God, it's real. Can we go now? And they just run away. And, like, that town gets, like, devastated and stuff. And they finally decide, like, listen, it doesn't matter. We've got no lives back home. It doesn't matter what happens to us. Let's just go and try to save the day, because a couple of the ladies get kidnapped, and the town is devastated, and they end up using their acting skills, things that they've learned, in order to save the day. My favorite part of this entire movie is when Martin Short's character, Ned Niederlander, he meets this German guy who's like dealing guns to El Guapo. They're like flying shipment of guns in. Mm-hmm. And Martin Short's character is known for being a quick draw. Like the fastest gun on film. And then he's like, man, this guy, I modeled my entire, style after you. And he's like, I was such a big fan. He's like, then I learned about trick photography and camera angles and stuff. And Martin Short's like, I never used trick photography. And he's like, no one could be that fast, And so he's like, so the German guy's like, okay, let's check you. Let's see how fast you really are. So they do a standoff. And he gives like Martin Short like this huge, like heavy gun. And he's like, Martin Short like heaves it into his holster, and you think like, oh my God, this is like he's done for. But then they do the quick draw, and he totally blows the German guy away. Like he really is that fast.
Jeez,
it's so good.
You know what? After talking about these movies, a movie just popped in my mind that totally falls underneath that.
Huh?
That we love. The unbearable weight of massive talent.
Oh yeah, totally. It came out recently.
Oh
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage. Yep. Nick Cage. Yeah, totally. He's an actor, and he gets picked up by the CIA, and he's like, "We need to confirm or deny," and then he has to use his acting abilities to like at the end of the movie to like trick his cousin. Oh, it's so applicable. Yeah, it definitely falls.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh man, that movie is hilarious.
Yeah, if you like Nick Cage, then
we all know you do, because everybody loves Nick Cage. He's a national treasure, literally.
Yes, totally the same premise. An actor is put into a real life and death situation, and he has to use his skills and he learns a little lesson about himself, about self-sacrifice and love.
And apparently, Paddington Bear 2 is one of the greatest movies ever.
I heard it is, man. I
know. We were talking to Zach. So Zach, our producer from Shiftfire, has confirmed that apparently Paddington 2 is just an amazing movie.
It's like a perfect film, he said.
Yeah, he said it's the perfect film. And in the movie, it's under Pedro Pascal's top 3 movies of all time. He says Paddington Bear 2 is number 3. And Nick Cage is like, no way. And they watch it. And he's like, that made me want to be a better man.
Well, his daughter says it in the beginning. He's like, that's ridiculous. Like, he wants his daughter to, like, watch, like, classic movies like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Metropolis and stuff. And then when Pedro Pascal says it, he's like, really? And then at the end, when he's with his daughter, they're watching Paddington 2. Yeah. And he's like, wow, this is a good movie.
It's like, wow. No, yeah, definitely The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is an epic movie. Go watch it. It's totally worth it, in my opinion. Especially if you're like a Nick Cage fan and you get Nick Cage. Like, Nick Cage is serious, but if you get like Nick Cage's personality, it just makes the movie 10 times better. But cool. I think those are all the movies we have that are about actors, right?
That's kind of the hardcore ones.
Yeah, those are the core ones, except for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That was just a ringer. But we got a couple more for y'all that just have to do with, unqualified person in the wrong area. And Chris put this one on here, Delta Farce.
I have not seen this.
It's terrible.
I refuse to see anything with Larry the Cable Guy in it. Sorry, Larry the Cable Guy. I'm sure comedy's great.
What, you don't like Get Her Done?
Oh, man. If
You
I
don't
have heard $1 for every time I heard that, back when he was like a big deal.
Yeah, Get Her Done. Man, what a tagline. And who's his buddy that's always like, you might be a redneck?
Bill Engvall or... No, that's Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy. Well, it's like all these...
The Trump... Yeah, the Western, kind of the Southern comedic guys.
They're all in this movie. Yeah, they're all in this movie.
Blue-collar comedy guys.
Yeah, and it's basically, if I remember correctly, they totally get like, just, they're out drinking on a weekend and shooting around, and they get mistaken for Army reservists, and then they're deployed to Iraq, but they accidentally land in Mexico because there's like they get premature ejection, or they jump out of the plane or something wrong, and they're in Mexico, and they think they're in the Middle East, and they're basically, they go to a village and become heroes until, like, this warlord comes and fights them. But it's a terrible movie. Like, the jokes and the comedy, they don't hit. Like, you're talking about Ben Stiller's comedy, like, if it hits, it hits. This entire movie completely misses. Like, it is not funny.
I think one of the things that we can say about all the choices that we have so far is that it's very unlikely that they would survive these situations.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Hollywood, so... I mean, there's a little point here that Chris is wondering, would they really survive this situation? And it is a blood-curdling no.
Yes, no, absolutely not.
Absolutely
None of these
not. No.
Actually, there's a point in Three Amigos where they do run away, and if they just stayed running away, then they probably would have survived,
Yeah.
Or in Galaxy Quest, if they would have said no to the aliens, they would have survived.
Yeah, but, like, Larry the Cable Guy isn't known for, like, being very physically in shape.
He has a shape. He's not.
Yeah, he is a shape.
He is a shape.
Yeah, he is a shape, but it's not a straight line. It is very obtuse.
Well-rounded.
Very well-rounded. But, no, they would totally not survive this. Especially, like, they have the guns. Like, they give them all, like, the equipment and stuff, and they don't know how to use this shit. Like, they're just a bunch of rednecks. Like, I mean, I guess that means they would know how to use it, but, like, getting in, like, gunfights and everything, there's a couple things you need, and that's why physical fitness is the first thing, because gunfighting is tiresome.
Yes.
But yeah, no, they would get completely schwacked, in my opinion. There's a reason why it's called Delta Farce, because the movie's
which is
farce.
a terrible name.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I mean, you're just asking for trouble if you name your movie Delta Farce.
Delta Farce, yeah. It's not even, like, witty. It doesn't even sound cool. But anyways, that's just me being a hater. Hate. But no, here's another one. Pineapple Express. This movie does hit, though.
It could have gone either way with this one, because not all of these guys' movies hit either. You got James Franco and Seth Rogen, who are two stoner guys. Yeah. Yeah, and they witness
a killing. They witness a dirty cop, a corrupt cop that works for a drug organization, kill some competitors, some drug competitors, and they basically they're being chased the entire time, and at the end they go and they have to save the day by, like, taking down the drug lab and stuff. But oh man, the comedy in here, it's just a pure example of, like, buddy cop or, like, buddy movies.
Yeah, buddy, like, road movies, like
buddy road movies. But, like, the comedy is so funny. I mean, if you're into, like, stoner comedy, it's so good. And I love James Franco too.
James Franco, he's got some classics out there.
He does get some
It's funny, all these guys, if you follow the thread all the way back, like, these guys like Seth Rogen and James Franco and all these other guys, even like Judd Apatow, who has them in, like, a lot of his movies, they were all in a movie, or they were all in a TV show together, like, back in the day.
The Mickey Mouse Club?
No. It was like, I'm going to have to go back and look for it. But they were all in a show together, and it's like then, years later, they just start starring in a bunch of things, for a bunch of things together, which I think is so hilarious, Yeah. They all kind of stayed friends. Like, they all have, like, you can tell they're all friends, Freaks and Geeks, that's what it was.
Freaks and Geeks. Interesting. I've never heard of that. When did that come out?
Oh, it was like '99. Yeah, it only had one
99.
season. Yeah, it was only one season. But
Interesting.
all those people, like Seth Rogen was in it, James Franco was in it, a bunch of other people were. Judd Apatow, I think, directed a lot of the episodes. So that's kind of, and then there was just this string of Judd Apatow comedies where they all just like starred in each other's stuff. It was great.
Okay, and you know what? On that thought of just Rogan and Franco, The Interview completely totally falls into that. I mean, it's basically the same movie, just oh, dude, The Interview is a classic.
It is,
and I mean they get rescued by SEAL Team 6 at the end. It's just like, dude, yeah, that's a classic comedy. Would you like to sample some of Jeff's cocaine? What is his name in the movie? God, that one's so quotable.
No, in this one they know where they're going, but they don't realize the circumstances they're in until the veil of North Korea. I like it because it is a commentary on North Korea, because North Korea.
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon, limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.
The old world communism, they like to project that it's all about saving face. It's all about, upholding the party line and stuff like that by any means necessary. And so,
it's like, yes, in North Korea, we have many fat kids. Yeah. Oh, look at that little chubster. Look at that little chubby kid. He's like, so does my man poop? The supreme leader does not poo or pee. He is far too busy.
His body recycles all of everything to use it.
Yeah.
No,
you're so hairy like bear.
The girl, the North Korean lady who helps him escape. I think
Sue. I think her name's like Sue or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, The Interview is another classic example of just being underqualified, because they obviously he lands an interview being what is Skylark Tonight.
Yes, he's
landed an interview with. He's a talk show host. And they land an interview with Kim Jong Un because he is a huge fan of Skylark Tonight. Since they're the only Americans that have been granted access to North Korea, the CIA wants Skylark to assassinate him while he's there.
That's right. Yep.
Such a funny.
Randall Park plays President Kim.
Yeah, he's like, what is it? Are margaritas gay? And he's like, who told you margarita's gay? Yeah.
Oh, so good.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
Good pinch hit. I like that.
Yeah, good pinch hit. So, what do you got? What do you got next, man? What's another classic?
This one is I threw it in there because he is like in a situation that's like that he didn't expect, but I think Die Hard kind of qualifies for this category because, he's a New York cop and he gets trapped inside a building with a bunch of terrorists and his wife is in there and he has to like crawl through a bunch of air ducts and basically basically get back at him.
I would agree. I mean, even though he's got like cop training, that's not like anti-terrorist. Right. Like that's not counter-terrorist training. That's like writing traffic tickets. So I would agree to say Die Hard would fit on this list of being unqualified, but he does it.
Yep.
He does it quite well, and he saves the day.
Did you know that this movie is based on a novel?
What?
Yeah.
I knew I knew that Die Hard is totally a Christmas movie.
It is totally a Christmas movie.
It is totally a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas, and they're at a Christmas party.
Yeah, it's Robert Thorpe's Nothing Lasts Forever was adapted into the iconic film franchise, the first film in the franchise. Yeah. I wonder if it's book accurate. That's so funny because I would like to read the book to find out like how accurate it is, because there's so many different clever things that happen. Like there's so many different clever ways he gets out of situations and things that happen. Like I wonder if the part is in the novel where he falls down the stairs and he breaks the guy's neck, And then he puts the guy in the elevator and says, "Now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho." Like, I wonder if that's in the novel, you know?
Oh, those like one-liners?
Yeah. Or yippee-ki-yay.
That would be interesting to find out.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, yippee-ki-yay. Yeah. No, that would definitely be super interesting to find out. You do all the
I'm gonna do
reading,
some research.
and you just let me know, okay?
I will.
But you know what's very interesting that I just realized? Die Hard is the first movie that we have mentioned on this list that is not a comedy.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, all these are comedies.
All of these are comedies, except for Die Hard.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That is super. I guess the whole point of like being totally unqualified in a life or death situation is kind of humorous, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, I think it kind of like you want to kind of set the audience up for like, yeah, we know this is a ridiculous situation, you know, kind of thing. Like, just,
yeah, this would never happen.
Just go with it.
You know?
Go with us on this, you know.
Yeah, totally. Just come along for the ride, because that totally reminds me of. I mean, let's see what else on this list. Like MacGruber.
Totally.
Is totally. I mean, obviously it's comedy. It's so funny. But, like, it definitely fits the bill that this guy that doesn't use weapons, who's, like, a washed-up, like, special operations, historical fighter that was, like, envied back in the day, and he's just such an incompetent imbecile.
Yeah. It's basically
how did he get that far?
of MacGyver, you know.
Yeah, it's MacGyver. And, I mean, did you see the actual TV series they made?
The MacGruber TV series? Or MacGyver?
Yeah, the MacGruber. They made a MacGruber TV series.
Why?
I watched the entire. It's why not, man? Because MacGruber was hilarious. I think it's on Peacock.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's on Peacock. There's one. It's like 10 episodes or something.
Oh my god!
But they're 30 minutes. It's a really fast watch. It's like 10 30-minute episodes or something. But it's like the same humor. It's hilarious.
If you like celery in someone's butt, then you probably would like the show.
Yeah. If you like just,
it's the ultimate tactic, Amy.
It is the ultimate tactic. If you want to distract your enemy, don't do a base of fire while the other element maneuvers around. Just put some celery in your ass and get naked and do a duck walk to get their attention while your buddy takes them out.
Works every time. So this next one, now we're getting further and further away from any kind of military theme. But the first Thor movie is definitely a fish out of water, like in over his head kind of.
The first Thor
movie, yeah. If you remember, he is like an arrogant, pompous young god, and something happens, and his father, Sir Anthony Hopkins, he banishes him to Earth, and he takes away his powers. And he can't pick up he can't pick up Mjolnir, his hammer, until he.
You know what? I don't remember the plot of the first Thor. Now I'm gonna go rewatch it. I totally don't remember this.
Yeah. He's kind of drained of all his powers, and the whole thing is like he has to learn how to like be selfless, basically. And at the very end of the movie, he does, obviously, because we're 5 movies in. So.
Yeah, we're 5 movies in, and I heard you hated the last one.
Yeah, not a fan of the last one, man. It was just too goofy, too ridiculous, and there were some writing things in there that I'm like, wait, what they're doing? What now? Why is this happening? Oh, I don't care.
Oh no!
And I'm sure
Marvel's
Natalie
got to
Portman
make money
CGI
somehow.
arms.
What?
Well, I mean, if you look at her, man, Natalie Portman, I don't know what she did to work out, but there's no way her arms could have gotten that big.
Is she like jacked in the movie?
Yeah, she's freaking jacked. Oh yeah, her arms are freaking huge.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, you can't, not have giant arms and play Thor.
Yeah.
It's like it comes with the real estate there.
That's right.
But I still haven't seen it, so I'm gonna go check it out because I like Christian Bale. I think he's a great actor.
Christian Bale's amazing.
Yeah, but I'm putting that to the top of my movie list.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch the original Thor.
All right.
But what about? Oh, here's a classic one. Kindergarten Cop.
Have you seen this, man?
Of course, Arnie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Detective John Kimple, has to go undercover as a kindergarten teacher in order to catch this on-the-loose killer.
Yeah, no, it's a classic, and he falls in love with... It's a classic. Not to mention, it breaks all the laws of physics, because that little boy says guys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Which we know is untrue.
Which you know, by today's scientific standard, is completely false. No, yeah, dude, it's a classic movie, and who wouldn't want Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean, first of all, you get a new kindergarten teacher, right? He's a substitute, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Well, yeah. Well, they
Yeah, and
basically put him up as the substitute so that he can do this job.
Yeah. Could you imagine being a parent? Because I mean, you know, when I have kids, I imagine I would be pretty involved in, you know, their schooling, and I would see their teacher. Imagine being one of those parents and just seeing a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger as a kindergarten teacher. Like, that's not, you know, going to raise some eyebrows. Like, where did this guy come from? You know, obviously he's not here because he enjoys education. Like, he looks like he's going to murder someone.
Yeah, he's freaking. I've never had one. I had one teacher, actually, one coach that was pretty big, and that was my wrestling coach in high school.
Coach, but not your kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, but not my kindergarten teacher.
No, you expect like your youth teachers to be like super maternal and like very sweet and like non-threatening, but like no, that to me that goes out the window with Arnold Schwarzenegger as a teacher.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that's a classic movie, man.
And did you can you connect you remember the bad guy, Crisp? Can you connect him to another military movie that we have talked about often?
Let me see here. Kindergarten.
Can you guys go? You people at home. Richard Tyson. What other military movie has he appeared in? This is the off the cuff game.
Richard Tyson. Let's see here.
Come on, man. I believe you.
Oh my God, he looks so familiar. Oh, Richard Tyson. What are you in? You look so familiar.
He's played a lot of bad guys, but in this one, I'm thinking of he plays a good guy.
Dude, I am blanking. He looks so familiar.
He was in Black Hawk Down. He was one of the Delta operators.
Is he in Black Hawk Down?
Yep.
That's why he looks so familiar. Okay. Yep. I'm looking at this picture where he has like a beard, and I'm like, that he looks like an old Special Forces guy. I was gonna say either Saving Private Ryan or Black Hawk Down.
Oh, really?
I should have said
close.
Yeah, because I'm like, he looks super familiar, and I mean, obviously, there's so many characters in those movies.
Yeah, you're right.
That, but interesting, man. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
But what's this one? Run, Hide, Fight.
So Run, Hide, Fight is basically Die Hard by a different name. The reason why...
Oh, is this new movie that came out? It's brand new,
The
right?
reason why most people probably haven't seen it is because it's only hosted on the conservative site Daily Wire. But that aside, it's a pretty solid film. It's basically this teenage girl. She's having a hard time because her mother died of cancer, and her father, who's a former Army sniper guy, is trying to help her out, and he's teaching her all the kind of hunting stuff and fighting stuff, but they're just not connecting. So one day at school, these other teenagers come in and they just start shooting people, and they have like a bomb with them and stuff, and they hold everybody hostage inside. And she starts to get away. She actually gets away. She's outside, but then she turns around. She goes back in. She tries to help everybody out, And it's
interesting.
It's good in that it's pretty brutal. There's some pretty brutal violence and stuff in it. And then it's also pretty clever as well. Like, it's cleverly written. There's some pretty cool, interesting stuff that happens. Like, there's the day, it's like senior prank day at school. So there's all these kind of like pranks all around school that like end up kind of helping her. Like, somebody put a bunch of like oil on this ramp that's going into like this gym area. And like, she lures one of the killers like onto the ramp, and he slips, and like I think he might actually like accidentally shoots himself in the head or something like that.
Oh man, you know why it's probably just not really big? Is just because obviously school shootings are such a like a soft spot right now. Yep. And like nobody wants to like know how we can stop them. Obviously, the biggest thing is like we gotta ban guns, and that's totally not the truth. Yeah. But that's probably why it's just on Daily Wire.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. I have to check that one out, man. I've seen trailers for it. But no, it sounds pretty good. I got to try it out.
Yeah.
What about, this one, I know we were talking a little bit about it earlier, but Codename The Cleaner.
You're going to have to help me out with this one. Cedric the Entertainer.
I mean, this is such a just like, I'll be surprised if you remember this one. It's like just one of those comedies that just came and went,
Yeah.
And like the only way you would do you remember Black Knight?
Black Knight? No.
That's another one that just came and went. It's one of those BET comedies.
Oh, okay.
But Codename the Cleaner. So it's Cedric the Entertainer, wakes up in a strange hotel room, and he finds himself in this predicament where there's a corpse in the bed and a briefcase full of cash, and he can't remember who he is or how he got there. And he meets this lady who's a waitress, and she tells him he's a janitor at a video game company, and that she is a girlfriend, but he believes he's an undercover agent for the CIA and tries to go figure out the truth. But pretty much, it's just a wonky, ridiculous comedy, and he totally is just a janitor. He just it's totally just a regular janitor, but he in his head tells himself he's CIA, so he goes after the truth for what's going on. But it's just one of those slapstick comedies that's totally false. That would never happen.
Oh, that's good, man. Well, I mean, I put some honorable mentions here kind of towards the end, even though just because we've talked about them a lot. Big Trouble in Little China. Jack Burton is definitely in over his head, but he rises to the occasion, The Last Starfighter, early 80s sci-fi movie. A kid basically there's this video game at his trailer park and he beats it and he doesn't realize that it's a recruiting tool for an intergalactic war.
Yeah, you totally mentioned this on our space episode, or
yeah.
Which one was that?
No, I forget, man.
I don't know. Yeah, but I remember. Yeah, he beats it and then he ends up being tasked for it, and then his little brother or something tries to do it too.
Well, that's how the movie ends. He's like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
too.
That's how it ends. I'm gonna go too. But yeah, dude. Oh, that's a good honorable mention you put in there. The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, man, because he's totally he's actually not even trying most of the time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, hey man, come on, man.
It's on my carpet back, man. It really ties the room together.
Yeah, it really ties the room together. Not on the carpet, man. I just want my carpet.
Yeah.
What does it say at the end? Yeah, the dude abides.
The dude abides. And with Sam Elliott, Mr. Western himself, Sam Elliott.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one. We should have threw that in the mix, but we are running low on time, and it is time to go to our fan question. Who's this question from?
1.21 gigawatts on Instagram wants to know what branch of the military would win in a battle royale. Wow. So if everybody just turned on each other, what would happen?
Wow, this is such an easy one, and it would 100% be the Army.
I feel like it would be the Army.
It would 100% be the Army, and we say that because we outnumber everybody.
Yep.
Our budget is way higher, and we're completely self-sustaining.
Yeah, we have air units, and we have sea units, and we have land units.
Yeah, so that's the reason we joined, or at least I joined the military, or the Army specifically, is because, the Marines, they're great fighters, but they're very limited because they rely on the Navy. And the Navy doesn't really have any combat roles except for their Navy Special Warfare. And then the Air Force doesn't really have any combat, direct action. But they got planes, but then you have, a bunch of anti-air in the Army, and we have, a bunch of anti-everything in the Army.
Right.
And infantry. And sustainment. So, it's not a question. Sorry, other branches, and I know you're punching in the air right now and punching the passenger seat that's empty, hopefully, because you're he's wrong.
I'm sorry.
The Army wouldn't win. It's just the way it is, man. Army's completely self-sustaining, and it has the highest budget. So, sue me. What do you think, Izzy?
Yeah, no, it would totally be the Army, man. Like you say, we have the biggest force, the biggest budget. We have all the units and assets that everybody else has, to some degree. Everybody's just a little more specialized than we are,
Yeah.
I mean, the Marines might win because they're so hardcore, which is part of the reason why I didn't join, because I'm I don't want to be that hardcore. So
that makes sense because you want special forces. So
I want something elite but not hardcore.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense to me. But yeah, we hope that answers your question. 121 gigawatts. Yeah, the Army would fucking take it. But okay, game time.
Now it's time.
I'm not seeing a game.
Oh, I am seeing.
I'm not seeing a game.
I'm seeing a game. This game is for you, Cameron, and I will be the game master.
Okie dokie. I'm ready.
So we're keeping this game simple. Absolutely has nothing to do with the episode topic. It's called Camo Slammo, which I love that name. Thank you, Chris.
Camo Slammo.
I'm going to say
is that
what?
Well, I'm going to say, is that a reference to my name or to camouflage?
Maybe Camo Slammo. It's the Cam Slam.
It's open to interpretation. But yeah, I'm ready.
All I'm going to do is I'm going to say the acronym of a camouflage. or and you guys tell me its full military. So acronym. See, I'm going to say an acronym, and you tell me what it means.
Oh no!
I think you're going to be all right, Cam. Don't sell yourself short. Some of these are a little obscure, but well, let's do a warm up. Let's see how you do.
Okay, sure.
So think
I'll
military.
try.
We're in the military mindset. First one is UCP.
UCP is Universal Camouflage Pattern.
That's it, man. Digicam.
Yes. Yep. Digicam.
I went through when I had the
Okay.
ACUs. Cry at night sometimes.
But well, it's kind of funny because I actually had to use ACU too when I first joined, and I went through Ranger School in ACU. It was kind of a big flex if you wore the only time that digital was cool, in my opinion, was in Ranger School, because it showed that you were in the military for a little bit. Because everybody that was newer only got issued multicam stuff, or the Scorpion.
Yeah.
So like I would literally go out of my way to only wear ACU to be like, look at me, I've been here for a little bit, and you look salty. So that was the only time in the military that ACU was cool, was in Ranger School.
So it did serve a purpose. That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
All right, that was your warm up. Here we go. You ready for the first one?
Let's do it.
Marpat.
Marpat. Oh man. I feel like it would just be like marine pattern.
That's it, man. That's it.
Oh really?
You can tell it's a marine thing when they almost spell the entire word out for you.
Yeah, make it easy.
Yeah.
Make it easy to understand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's very cool. Because I mean, the only people that really use Marpat in the U.S. forces, anyways, are Marines. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Good one. All right. So you
Interesting.
one out of one. All right. Here we go.
Okay. Well,
Next one. HWU.
HWU.
Oh.
Oh, is that hot weather uniform?
That's it, man. You got it. 2 out of 2.
Oh, 2 out of 2. Okay, I thought this was going to be like some foreign camouflage that I've never heard of that has an acronym. Oh, it's just uniform stuff. Okay.
Basically. Yep.
Oh, thank God. I didn't want to look like a freaking idiot.
I think you're going to do all right. Let's do the next one. NWU.
Okay. NWU. 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 I'm looking at it in my...
Don't you look anywhere.
Naval water uniform?
Ooh, close, but no cigar, my friend. Navy working uniform.
Okay. See, I am not a seaman, so I don't know this.
That's right. Probably for the best.
I'm just a dick. I'm not seaman.
All right.
But yeah, Navy working uniform. Okay.
You didn't get that one, but you're doing pretty well so far. You got 2 out of 3, so.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 out of 3, or 4. 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
You count the warm up. Anyway, next one. OCP.
OCP, which is very interesting because this is what the Army uses now, but I totally don't even. Let's see. The only thing that makes it's weird because some people call OCPs multicam, some people call them Scorpions, but the actual name, because obviously it means something camouflage pattern, and the only word that comes to my mind right now is like operational combat pattern.
Ding, ding, ding! You got it, man. Operational combat
really?
pattern, yeah. And he has Chris put multicam here as well, so you get
Nice.
1.5 points for that.
Very cool. I'm actually surprised I got that right because I am one of the ones that just calls it multicams.
Many people do, which is probably why he put that on your. It's like nobody what is it actually called? Like I didn't know that the woodland camouflage was called what's the M81.
M81.
Yeah, I never knew that until I started streaming, and some somebody in my community was like, M81.
Because you just called it woodlands. Yeah,
woodland
woodlands.
camo. Yeah.
Well, the thing about OCPs is that like actual multicam, the term multicam is trademarked by Cry. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they can't, and the entire military didn't have a Cry trade. Like they obviously didn't have the legality to use that, so they came up with OCP, and they also came up with Scorpion. It's just everybody knows it as multicam anyway, so that's what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one, man.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Out of nowhere.
All right,
Good.
what's next?
Next one is I'm gonna add what he put here before the answer or before the actual acronym. So USAF.
Okay.
That's not a part of
Okay.
it, but USAF. DTS. DTS.
DTS. Okay, so it's obviously an Air Force thing. U.S. Air Force, DTS. DTS. You know what? You know what's super weird? Like how people look up when they're trying to think of something.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the answer is floating right above them.
That's actually a psychological
DTS.
thing.
Yeah, what is it? DTS. And it's a uniform. Man, I don't even know what the S would be. That would for a uniform. U.S. Air Force duties. Is it or direct trainings? Oh, is it a suit? That would probably
Talking
be a
uniform.
suit.
Talking uniforms.
Talking uniforms. Yeah, I would just say duty training suit. I don't know.
That's a good answer, but not the correct one. It's digital tiger stripe or desert tiger stripe.
Digital tiger desert. Oh my god, yeah, that was out of the box one. Because I'm in my head, I'm like thinking the like what they use, or I was thinking like because obviously the Navy one was their working stuff. I'm pretty sure it's like their jumpsuit. Yeah. So no, that makes sense now. Okay.
Well, you're doing all right. You only got 2 incorrect, so let's do this last one. BDU.
BDU. The BDU is man. You have the BDU because you have the DCU, which is the Desert Camouflage Uniform, and a BDUs. Hey, get those BDUs. BDUs. Why? I'm totally blanking on what a BDU is, and the BDUs are woodlands.
Yeah, that's what we call them. It's funny you say you were one of the last people to do ACUs. I was one of the last people to do BDUs in my basic training.
BDUs are M81s, but what do they stand for? BDU. What does BDU stand? I'm not old school. The BDU would stand for oh man, this is gonna bother me to the day I die. BDU. I'm just gonna give myself 5 seconds to think. I don't know. Is it like Bush duty uniform?
No, it is not, unfortunately, Cam. It stands for battle dress uniform.
Battle dress uniform. Oh my god!
It's so funny,
How
Cam.
silly of me.
Out of all the vast information you have about the military, that is not one that I would think you wouldn't get. But
yeah.
Well, you're half and half, man. Half and half. Half right, half wrong.
Little disappointed. Now I'm gonna have to go hit the books and start studying my acronyms again because
that's gonna take a while because there are so many. But that's it, folks. That's it for this episode. We appreciate you joining us. I'm about ready to fall over, so I'm just going to say cue music.
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.